Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to MJR YouTube channel. There is something which is so amazing about former President Uhuru Kenyatta. He was speaking during a mass service of his cousin Muigai. And the message he was sending to the nation and to his family members is what I want to talk about. But before I go into finer details of his speech, I want to play for you part of that clip which will form the basis of my analysis today. Listen to what he was saying.
And committed himself to continue the fight that his father had started. Father was a warrior. Shida ya watu siku hizi, everybody sijui mumeogopeshwa, sijui even you gena, naona rudi uingie hii majenzi, nyinyi ndio the story of the future. Fight for your rights bwana. Sio kukakaa hapo mambo mali yenu ichukuliwe na nini, mumeitolea jasho. Msikubali, pambaneni, muhakikishe mumepata haki yenu. Mnasikia nyinyi? Sio kukaa hapo tu, kuna kitu inadumu. But everything is worth a fight for. If you don't fight for it, ikienda mtu asilie. Msimame mupiganie haki yenu. Na mko na hawa watoto wamebaki ambao wako tayari kupigania haki yao. Waungane pamoja nanyi. Can't just stand there and let people take your hard-earned sweat. Dunia iendi namna hiyo. Muwe watu ambao hawataogopa, wataishi kama my friend. Ameenda detention, si alitoka na akaendelea na maisha. Hata nyinyi teteeni haki ze. Sio kukaa tu munaogopa. Kuogopa sasa ni sisi tutulie sisi. Ninyi ndio mko na nguvu ya kupambana na hii watu. But we are behind you. Muendelee namna hiyo. Mungu awabariki na walinde na pumzishe ndugu yetu, rafiki yetu Kibadhi in eternal peace, and may your legacy live strong and long, and may we see it in your children.
Now, in this clip here, Uhuru Kenyatta's message was very clear, and it was a very coded message, and I will split it into two parts. The first part, I will speak to the nation, and another part which he was addressing the family, I will also say something about it. But before I go further into it, allow me to invite those who are coming across our channel for the first time to take a moment, a minute or two maybe, to subscribe to our YouTube channel, because that is the only way to support MJR moving forward. Now, in the first place, let me go to the family. On the family, Uhuru was speaking to their children, their grandchildren, and the greater Muigai family and Kenyatta family. That don't just sit and wait. Let's enter into the arena of action. Because if you don't act and take part now, your property will be repatriated. Your properties will be grabbed. And you all know that there have been a lot of discussion that the Kenyatta family grabbed most of the lands they own. And that was the grudge that is between the UDA Mount Kenya leaders and the Kenyatta family. You remember during the demonstration when the Kenyatta's family land, the Northland, was evaded and their properties destroyed, shipped were stolen. So that is a scheme. It was a threat to the family. And up to now, they have never said anything about it. But the management of the land came out and talked about the damage that was caused by those young men who invaded that plot of land and destroyed and cut down the trees. Now, after Uhuru Kenyatta's retirement from politics, there was no good relationship between the family and the regime. You could also remember how Mama Ngina's security were withdrawn prematurely. The search warrant on Uhuru Kenyatta's son about firearm, which prompted Uhuru to came out to the media after a long time and also said that he will be ready to defend his son and his mother. So the Kenyatta family have sensed that there is a threat on their properties and their belongings. So Uhuru was telling them that the only way to protect our wealth, our interests, we must be in politics and be in politics actively and take part in political activities. That is a clear message, and it is a lesson to Kenyans that the big families, those who are active in politics during the foundation of this or post-colonial Kenya, will never sleep until their properties are protected. Their interest must be protected. And for their interest to be protected, they must be either directly into politics or the regime which is in power are their puppets, or in other words, they must be there indirectly. And that is why you will see Uhuru Kenyatta's hand, or Kenyatta's family's hand, into this politics. They supported Raila, but the Azimio failed to clinch power. And therefore, they must be next to power. You see the meeting in Chaweri. That was to ensure that the Kenyatta's family interest is protected and their family businesses and properties are well taken care of. Number two, the Gen Zs which he talked about. If they sit pretty and wait that the UDA government or William Ruto's government will protect them, then they are also at a threat. Because the discussion which has been going around is that the old political class have squandered this country. They have mismanaged country's resources. When you talk about the previous regimes, Uhuru Kenyatta and his father, the founding father, Jomo Kenyatta, were part and parcel of that previous regime. Moi was part of that regime, and Moi favored Kenyatta. So during Moi's era, Kenyatta's interests were taken care of. And that is why after his tenure, he preferred Uhuru Kenyatta to be his successor in KANU leadership and in national politics. That is Moi. So Uhuru Kenyatta is now trying to side with the Gen Zs because that is where there is safe haven. Because if another crop of leaders emerge who doesn't tap to or subscribe to the historical political injustices, then they might reset this country and to bring the country to factory setting, which will delete everything and will start afresh. and that will be very dangerous to them and to their interests. So they must be in every regime, and they have sensed that there is a new crop of leaders and a new wave which is coming, and that's why you see the Odinga family are always around to protect their family businesses and family interests. You wonder why Raila always escape the presidency, because he knows very well that the moment he will accept to be the president, that will be the beginning of the end, or the end of the era of Odingaism. So Kenyatas have realized that they are not represented, they are not on the dinner table, they are not on the table where the decisions regarding this country are made, and therefore they must do something, they must wake up, and they must act with immediate effect. And it is only through two ways. It is either they be there directly, or they have a regime in power which will take care of their interest. And that is why he is inciting the Gen Zs and the youths to wake up and to fight for their regime. You know, the UDA had threatened these old folks in a very large way, because it had a crop of leaders like Ichung'wa, like Gachagua, who were of the obsession that they must bring back the land that belongs to the people, which they feel that Kenyatta family grabbed from the people of Mount Kenya and other parts of this country. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you, and may God